Let's do it. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. It's Magic Game Day. A little bit earlier than usual, but I'm Jake Chapman. That's Chrissy Birdsall. We're up here on the radio deck, and we are getting set for the NBA Emirates NBA Cup. I got to say all the words right. The Emirates NBA Cup quarterfinals. Magic hosting their first quarterfinal game. It'll be the second time we've played in the knockout round, and first time we played here at Kia Center in the knockout round. Miami Heat coming in tonight. We saw these guys, about 5 days ago as Magic squeaked out a 106-105 win. Magic win tonight. That'll be the season series. It'll be a 3-0 advantage, although we still have two matchups against the Heat down in South Florida. But a trip to Las Vegas on the line, obviously. Tonight, we're the early game. You've got Toronto and New York going a little bit later on, and the Magic right now, I think, feeling a little bit fortunate based on the news we got yesterday. Chrissy Birdsall, boy, for you, it's been quite the experience, I would think, your graduate associateship thus far. We've had injuries that we've had to deal with, both short-term and then potentially very long-term looking after you come out of that New York game on Sunday. And the news yesterday that Franz Wagner suffered merely, it's still an injury that obviously is going to impact this team and impact Franz, and, a tough break to be sure for Franz Wagner, who is having an excellent season. But you kind of feel like you dodged a little bit of a bullet. All things considered, that spill he took at MSG on Sunday, very nasty. He comes down on his left knee, and you were just hoping for no structural damage, and it turns out that's the case. He's diagnosed with a high ankle sprain of the left leg. Obviously, you expect him to miss a couple weeks, but I think all of us, for close to 24 hours there, were anticipating a much more severe injury than that, Chrissy. It felt like Christmas came early yesterday.
Yeah, definitely a little bit. I remember watching that at the studio. You were on the call, of course, and just seeing what happened and then seeing how he went off the court. Everyone was just silent in the studio. We didn't really know what happened, how bad it was. It didn't look good. And when you watch the video playback, it didn't look any better. And then you got to wait 24 hours. They do the MRI when they come back to Orlando, and you're just holding your breath, hoping that everything is okay and not nearly as bad as what things might have been reported. Magic Twitter yesterday was all over the place. It was we are back, we're so over, it is everything in between. But yes, you never want to see an injury, but to have it be a high ankle sprain and not something more severe that a lot of people thought it could have been, definitely a little bit of an exhale, I feel like, in the Magic community. And now you got to rely on that defense, you got to rely on that depth. That's what Coach Mosley said. They've been here before. They were here just a few weeks ago with Paolo Banchero being out for 10 games. They know what they need to do, and then hopefully when Franz comes back, he can just keep the momentum going that he had in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, you just think back to the beginning of last season, and between the injuries, the oblique injuries last year, which started to hit, or at least the Wagner injuries hit early in the month of December. Paulo's was much earlier in the season, but it felt like you were starting to get over the hump. Okay, figuring out a way to play without P. You knew he was going to come back eventually. Then Franz goes down, Mo goes down as well, and then eventually, as you're getting those guys back, Jalen went down in January. If you're a Magic fan and you feel snake bit, it's understandable. With that said, I think it would have been a real like what is happening here, sort of cosmic type thing if it were a more severe injury for Franz. He's going to miss a couple weeks, but you get Paolo back. This will be his third game back. You're healthy elsewhere, and you just, like, my first reaction, or at least one of them, Dante brought it up yesterday, and you really think about what that trip to Europe means in January for the Wagner brothers, and how unfortunate it would have been if one or both of them were unable to play on that trip. So obviously getting those guys back and healthy for the long haul is the big key, but it would be very nice if both those guys would be available in mid-January when you make the trip to Berlin and then to London to take on the Memphis Grizzlies. First things first, you got the Miami Heat here tonight, and you got plenty to play for. This was the idea when you came up with the NBA Cup, the in-season tournament, was to just kind of beef up games in early November and heading into the holiday season. You never need to add too much on the line when you're talking about Miami and Orlando, especially over the course of the last couple seasons. So far this year, you've had 2 games decided by 5 points total. This is one of those games that is won in the margins, it seems, each time that we play this team. You go back to even last season, Tyler Hero had a game winner on this very floor, but it has been been very evenly matched going back 2 years now. Very physical basketball games. I expect the turf battle, the turf war, to be big tonight. That's something that I coined, TRF, turf. Turnovers, rebounds, and free throws.
That's good.
Thank you very much, which is always a very big key when you have two smart physical basketball teams. You got to figure out a way to apply that physicality intelligently, and that is something that Miami has done well for many, many years, but they have a couple guys, or at least one guy, in my opinion, who is the best at it, or very, very near the top of the list, and that's Bam Adebayo. He plays us so well. He's able to rebound. He's able to get to the free throw line. 2 games so far this year, he's averaging 19.5 points and 13.5 rebounds against the Magic. And he was outstanding the other night in that game. He ended up with the ball in his hands because the Magic defended very well late in the game in crunch time, and so he sort of had to throw up a heave at the end. But Bam Adebayo has been very, very effective, let's just say, for Miami so far over the course of the season, and especially against this Orlando team. And then they have guys like Davion Mitchell, guys that are sort of able to apply that heat, defensive pressure, and do it well. Defending without fouling is something that is sort of a lost art in this league, and Miami does it just about better than anybody. So if you think about turnovers and free throws, that's kind of what that comes down to. Are you able to use your physicality without going overboard? And it's something the Magic kind of swing back and forth on, but I think it's going to be a huge key tonight. Are you able to defend? Are you able to be handsy, crawl into the basketball without marching Miami, or conversely, Orlando players to the free throw line? Whoever gets the upper hand as far as free throw attempts tonight, I think is in a good place. Second chance points, Chrissy, has been a huge deciding factor in the 2 previous games so far this year. The Magic have had 12-3, a +9 advantage in second chance points. That was the other night, and then an 18-10 advantage as far as second chance points goes back on opening night. And so if you can dominate the glass tonight, and pretty specifically the offensive glass, generate some second chance opportunities. It was a very high-scoring affair on opening night, but the other night, every opportunity that you had with the way that both teams were defending ended up being a golden one. And so the Magic need to generate a few more opportunities, a few more possessions tonight, and winning the turnover battle and the offensive rebounding battle is a great way to do that.
It was really a tale of 2 games when you look at those first 2 regular
sure.
season matchups. I said on Friday, looking at that first matchup, it's going to be a high-flying, high-scoring affair, and I couldn't have been any more wrong. Eric Spoelstra, after the game, said that it was a slugfest in the second half. He said it reminded them of the Heat and Magic of old, of a few years ago. And these are 2 teams that came into the season, really put an emphasis on pace, on speed. We've seen the Miami Heat do that. They've put up 140 points a few times. Orlando Magic starting to click a little bit, but that game was a defensive slugfest. I think Spoelstra said it absolutely perfectly. So who knows what we're going to get? I'm not going to make any more predictions because last time I made a prediction, I was completely wrong. It could be one of 2 ways, but with this Miami Heat team, they are getting healthy at the right time. When we were talking to some of the broadcasters on Miami last week, they said they haven't been able to have Norman Powell and Tyler Hero on the floor.
Right.
They haven't even had that starting 5 on the floor. They've only played 3 games together for a total of 51 minutes. And they're looking like...
Sounds familiar.
Looking at the injury report, it looks like everybody, for the most part, is going to be back.
Yep.
I know Drew Phillips was kind of the one questionable. He was the only one that didn't practice yesterday. But Tyler Hero, we'll see him for the first time. We didn't see him in those first 2 games. Norman Powell's fully healthy. Bam Adebayo is healthy. We saw them in the last game. So it's going to be really interesting to see what this Miami Heat team is at full strength, because even the fans of Miami haven't even seen that.
Yeah, you nailed it. They will have everybody available. This is just the 6th game of the season for Tyler Hero. As you mentioned, it'll be the first time that we've seen him. And Powell has been consistent. He's been about as consistent as you can be against us. 2 games against us so far this year in a Heat uniform for Norman Powell. 28 points on 9 of 18 shooting, 28 points on 9 of 19 shooting. And he's also a guy who averages over 6 free throw attempts per game. So you got to load up on him. Hero knocked down the game winner against us last year. That's a guy who has given us fits in years past, but they're still kind of trying to figure out exactly what it looks like with Hero and Powell together. As you mentioned, Chrissy, those are 2 guys who have sort of similar skill sets, both offensive-minded guys. Now, doesn't mean you have to hide either of them defensively necessarily. Hero maybe a little bit more so, but it's not their specialty. And so it looks like basically what they've done is they've said, okay, we've got Davion Mitchell, we've got Andrew Wiggins, a couple guys who specialize on one end, and then we're going to give the ball to Tyler Hero and Norman Powell and let them specialize on the other end. So obviously slowing those guys down, keeping them off the free throw line is a big key. And Hero's only been back for 5 games, but he is shooting 48.4% from three-point range. He has been absolutely lights out shooting the rock, and we know that he is a guy who can erupt for 40 or 50 points. I'm with you, though. You're forgiven for guessing that it was going to play out a little bit differently, the game flow on Friday night, and that's based on the fact that on opening night, it was the biggest scoring outcome between these two teams in a regulation game in the history of both franchises.
That's true.
And in years past, like Spo said, I mean, we're talking about Donnybrooks between both of these teams. That's the way we like it, and it felt like a playoff game a little bit closer to on Friday night than opening night did. This is going to feel even more so like that, I think. Look, in today's NBA, you don't get many 198s. We might be in for that here tonight. I feel pretty comfortable going out on a limb and saying we're not going to get 125, 121 again. But with that said, you're right. Anytime you make a prediction, who knows? And the first quarters have been huge in both of these games.
Correct.
Opening night, it was 39-38 after one. I don't think we're going to get that again, but even the other night, it felt like the first 3 or 4 minutes, it was back and forth. I could barely keep up. My voice was going.
Yep.
But it was 30-28 at the end of one the other night as well. So truth is probably somewhere in the middle, but I do think I think the team that controls their defensive intensity and physicality tonight wins the game. This is going to be one of those where, okay, you can go out there all fired up and you can want to play physically. You got to be smart about it. You have to apply it intelligently tonight, and that's going to be a trick, I think, for both teams.
And the added benefit for both of these teams is we talked about this a lot on Friday. Is that this is the 3rd time they're playing each other in the regular season, and if you count the preseason, that's 5 times that these two teams will see each other coming into tonight. That's a lot of game film on these guys coming into it, and these are 2 really good coaches, and Coach Mosley and Eric Spoelstra. Coach Mosley said in the beginning of the year how much he respects Eric Spoelstra, how much of a chess match it is when you're playing a team like the Miami Heat, that they're going to be aggressive, they're going to come at you, they're going to do all these adjustments and different things. But yeah, you have the added benefit for them coming in with Tyler Hero, and it's going to be really interesting to see. Now you have 3 games together. But when you look at this Miami team, this is a team that's been struggling a little bit down the stretch. In December, they've been 1 of 4. They lost their last 3, falling to the Sacramento Kings 127-111 on Saturday. That was the second night of a back-to-back. So they're coming in off of a losing streak. They're going to want to come in and make a statement here at the NBA Cup.
Yeah, Miami team that's lost 4 of 5, but they come in 14-10 on the season. They're a much better home team, 10-3 down at Kaseya Center, 4-7 away from home. So it'll be interesting. Both teams 14-10, but the Magic, obviously, with a 2-0 season series advantage, you can lock up that season series if you win this game here tonight. The all-important 5th regular season matchup against the Miami Heat, as we'll have to head down to Miami 2 more times. Those will both be after New Year's. All right, we're getting some comments in here. I want to know who you guys think will step up, who you guys think needs to step up in place of Franz Wagner over the course of the next couple weeks. Obviously, specifically here tonight, Paolo Banchero is everybody's first answer, you would think. What do the minutes look like tonight? He played 20 on Friday. He played 24 in New York. Do you expect those to keep bumping up, or you think probably right around that 24, 26-minute range tonight? I think it'll be interesting to keep an eye on that. We know Desmond Bane, in Paolo's absence, was asked to do more, so I think he's the obvious answer. And then you look down the bench and you say, where can we get a little more pop? Obviously, Franz Wagner does so many things well. You're not going to be able to replace him and his all-around impact. But I think the first thing you're looking for is some offensive pop. You're trying to replace, 23, 24 points a game. And it's not going to be one guy. Obviously, we go by committee. But there's opportunities and shots when you look down the bench for guys to step in and fill in. And I think Anthony Black's going to have a good opportunity. The ball's going to be in his hands. We know Coach Mosley trusts AB with the ball in his hands, so there's a big key there. You try to manufacture some offense by pushing the ball as well. And then is there an opportunity for Jace Richardson potentially as you look down the bench? If you need some offensive pop, boy, that guy every time he gets on the floor feels like he's able to pounce on his opportunity. So I would be interested to see. Maybe it's not tonight necessarily in what you expect to be kind of a defensive-minded type game, or maybe it is. It didn't matter who he plays against. Every time Jace gets an opportunity, it feels like he's putting the rock in the hole.
Yeah, one guy I'm looking at in particular is actually the guy that's on the court right now, Tristan da Silva. He's had himself a pretty good showing in the NBA Cup. He's averaging just under 13 points per game in those 4 games. And remember, he was the guy that came in and filled in for Paolo Banchero when he was out with those 10 games with the groin injury. I saw Rob on TikTok asking who's starting over Franz. I believe it's going to be Tristan da Silva. We'll have to see, but it's going to be pretty likely it'll be him. So he was playing really well when he first started coming into that starting position. He's slowed down as of recently, last few games. Definitely want to get increasing on the shooting, be aggressive. As Coach Mosley says, has that confidence and that swagger back. And he's on the court right now warming up, and I'm expecting him to have a big night if he fills in for Franz Wagner.
We're going to head down momentarily here from Jamal Mosley. Yeah, it'll be interesting because you're right. Tristan, I think, has been a little bit sort of hit the wall maybe over the course of the last week or two. Tristan would be one option. I think you do have an option of maybe starting Anthony Black. When you have that kind of roster versatility and size, and you can do that. You can, slide AB or Desmond Bane sort of up a position depending on who you're squaring off against. And with Miami, I guess that would be, Desmond Bane checking in Andrew Wiggins or something along those lines. I think you have some options there with AB and Tristan. And like you said, AB has been surging, and Tristan's been struggling as of late. So it'll be interesting. The spacing on the floor, I think it makes a little more sense with Tristan in there. But if you want to try to replace some of the playmaking, and especially in transition, the scoring punch, then AB, I think, might be the option as well. Do have a comment coming in here. Let's see. One of them said, is Franz in the building tonight? I did see him, so Franz definitely will be down there. I believe he's on crutches, but I couldn't see if it was just one. I just sort of saw one leaning up against him. But he will be in the house tonight to be sure. Let's see. Other questions about Miami's injury report. They're good to go. Let's see. Rome, but not Italy, says Nita Wendell to win that matchup with Bam tonight. That's going to be a huge matchup. And Bam Adebayo, I think almost no matter what, especially because Wendell the other night got caught in foul trouble. Bam's counting numbers might look better, but obviously winning the game is all that matters. And I mentioned at the top of the stream, generating those second chance points and offensive rebounds is massive for this team, and they've been able to do it twice, a +8 and +9 in second chance points in the 2 previous matchups with the Heat. And in the on opening night, there were a couple of offensive boards late in that game that really put the game on ice. And so, and Wendell was in the middle of all of that. That's a huge key. So for Wendell, it's just a matter of keeping Bam from a huge night. I think when all is said and done, Bam's going to get his numbers. He's more a part of their offense than Wendell is ours. But just trying to keep him kind of from being the star of the game, I think you're just sort of trying to cancel out, stalemate what Bam Adebayo brings if you're Wendell Carter Jr. And so far,
Coach, I know no absence is welcome, but to hear the news that Franz injury was less severe perhaps than initially thought, how relieving was that for the franchise?
It's a blessing that it wasn't, what we thought it was as it looked. And so, obviously you don't want anybody to be out, but for his ability to not be what, a lot of people thought it was is much better news.
Knowing that he's not going to be available now for an extended period of time, just how do you guys move forward without him?
The hard part about it is that you don't have him, but I guess the beauty in it is that you've been in this situation before. So you have to look back and lean on what we've done in other situations. The next man has to step up, be ready to play, and when your number's called, you're ready to go.
Jamal, this is, year 3 of the NBA Cup. How do you feel like attitudes toward the Cup itself have changed, if at all? And how seriously do you think the Cup itself is taken?
I think the guys take it very seriously.
Jamal, piggybacking off of this, I mean, it seems like your team has come out all business in all of these games. Could you just expound upon how seriously they do take it and what it means, to step on the court against the Heat in a quarterfinal? Yeah, I think it means a lot for our guys. They take it extremely seriously. Each game, we found a way. And obviously the 4 previous, but these guys they lock in on a different level because they know what you get on the back end of it. But then the competitive nature that these guys have, not just for playing regular games, but also knowing that there's something on the back end of it, turns it up a little bit more.
How you doing today, Coach?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. With the Heat finding success with their play style this year, more driving kick basketball, the fewest pick and rolls and handoffs in the league, but number 1 in pace. Does that make them more unpredictable to guard or tougher to game plan for than the average team?
Yes. You just said it all. Drive, kick, one-on-one, no less pick and rolls, harder to guard.
Hey, Coach, all the way in the back here. What's going on? So, Tyler Hero looks like he's about to go tonight. What does he add to this Heat offense, and what do you have to prepare for that you didn't have to in the previous 2 meetings?
Yeah, just answering that question, more drive and kick, more spacing, more shooting. We may see a little bit more pick and roll with him out there, but just the pace of play, being able to push it, space the floor even more so with his ability to knock down big shots. But just, again, being able to sit down and guard is going to be a high priority for us tonight against this team.
Jamal, also back here. You guys just played the Heat in a very close game.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a playoff series in a way that you're seeing them so close back to back. What can you learn, and what are the challenges of what maybe they might counter with?
I really think that in games like this, we feel like we've played them 9 times already in the season, but it comes down to the small things. It comes down to the details, making your free throws, blocking out, finishing possessions. Who wins the 50-50 battle? I think Spo talked to prior to post game. Just it becomes a slugfest and a dogfight because you know the team so well. So it becomes the minor details within the game that you have to make sure you take care of.
It's just been 2 games since Paolo came back, but what have you seen from him as he tries to kind of ease himself into the lineup or get himself back into rhythm in the lineup, and how does that maybe change, or how much do you need to see that expand with Franz out now?
Well, I think he's done a great job of just continuing to find a flow within the game. Find a rhythm within what is happening within the game. Finding the easy pass, knowing what he creates when he's out there on the floor, 2 to the ball. He's coming off of it quick. Getting early easy baskets in transition is another key for us as we move forward. Creating mismatches and keeping them. But he's done a great job of finding his flow back into the game.
Are his minutes beginning to expand a little bit more? Obviously, more time on the court. But is his minutes about to expand a little bit more after playing 25 on Sunday?
Was it 25?
It was 25.
So he's still on restriction?
Yeah.
Coach, and kind of to that point, with Franz being out, is there a challenge with Paolo to try to keep him from doing too much, or feeling like he needs to take over that role in a sense? I know it probably killed him being out those 10 games, and now his running mate is down. Is there a mentality thing that goes into that at all?
I think, Paolo is such a smart player that it's about winning. He's doing whatever is necessary to get on the court and help his team win. And if that means doing more, then that's who he is. If it means to do something different on the court and less, then that's what he'll do. But he's going to find the flow and a way to get his teammates involved and to continue to play the right way, that whatever it leads to, helping his team win.
Right here, Jamal. Trying to ask this in kind of a different way, but because you kind of hit on it, but because the NBA Cup is so new, how do you evaluate? How much weight do you put on this thing, or what does the weight of winning in this tournament carry?
It's a lot. For all the questions asked about the Cup, the guys want to win. They want to get to Vegas. They want the money. They want to have the bragging rights throughout the year. That's a big thing. And no other way to put it. That's how I think each team that's in it looks at it. You see the commercials, you see the advertisement, you see the guys talking about it. They want to win it. And there's no other way to look at it other than that. That's the competitive edge that these guys have. No matter what they get with their contract, you have the incentive on the back end of getting to Vegas and having a chance to say a bragging rights of winning something big. You want to go after it.
Jamal, for the teams that get to the final, that means the 83rd game. How much, if at all, is there to the theory that there's such a thing as a cup slump or an inconvenience to the cup itself?
I'd love to get there to tell you afterwards.
Anything else? Oh, go ahead. Yep.
Coach, it looked like Jalen had a groin issue last game or something where he had to leave early. And what does it say that just he's not on the injury report tonight? And does that set some sort of tone for the rest of the guys that this is a meaningful game, kind of just knowing that he's ready to go and out there for his guys?
It says a lot about the toughness and resiliency of our guys. If you can go, you go, and that's just who this team has been. If you're able to, you go.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
All right, Chrissy Birdsall. I think we're back on. There he is, Jamal Mosley, and He started out a little bit terse. He was succinct. I think he's locked in. And as a business-oriented head coach, and for all of the questions, I can't wait till we get to the point where we can just stop asking if it means anything, because it does. One of 82 always means something. $500,000 always means something. A trip to Las Vegas always means something. Let's just send the memo to every single member of the media and let them know that it does mean something, and you don't need to keep asking those questions.
And these guys have been locked in since November. I
Right.
went back and listened to stuff that Wendell Carter Jr. was saying.
Look at you doing your homework. I love it.
Just a little bit prepare for tonight's game. But he was so excited. He said $500,000 on the line. Everybody wants a piece of that pie. Obviously, the incentives of even just getting there, getting those extra bonuses. And he had a prediction way back in November and said that they had the talent to go to Las Vegas and hopefully win it. And so far, it's been playing out really well. It's that depth, I think, that's really playing into it. But it's not even just Wendell Carter Jr. Tristan Da Silva saying last year there was a chip on this team's shoulder when they missed out on going to Las Vegas after losing to the Milwaukee Bucks. Anthony Black echoed that after the game against the Pistons. And they're excited not only for the chance to go to Vegas, but also to host this game here at the Kia Center as well. That's a big factor, having another home game under your belt.
It's a good point. You go back 2 seasons, and even to the first game we played in the NBA Cup against Brooklyn, you ended up costing yourself a chance to advancing because of the point differential. So you learned that lesson. Last year, you got that squared away, but you had to go to Milwaukee for your quarterfinal game. So in year 3, you're now hosting this quarterfinal game. You're the top seed, for crying out loud, in the Eastern Conference, and now you have an opportunity protect home court, win the trip. It has clearly meant something, and I think it means something to the Miami Heat as well. Like, when you're a young team and when you're a team that's kind of forging your identity, I don't want to say a young team, but a team that doesn't have that championship pedigree, and most teams across the league are that way, or at the very least, it's a team that if you have a championship pedigree, you've got kind of a new mix of guys that you're trying to figure out. I think all of these things mean something. The chance at the spotlight means something. For our guys, like we crave all of that. We've been kind of knocking at the door the past couple years, and chance to have all the eyeballs on us, I think, matters. Chance to win a third game against the Miami Heat certainly matters.
Definitely.
And then a chance at potentially a financial windfall at the end means quite a lot as well. So it is. They've made no bones about it over the course of the last couple months. Like, all these games matter, and tonight I think it's going to look that way.
And they haven't even just said it; they've showed it as well. You
Right.
think about them coming in, obviously being 4-0, the number 1 seed. They averaged 121 points per game, and they were second in the East behind Toronto, giving up 105 points per game. They were second in defensive rating, 6th in offensive rating, second in net rating, and players were eating, and it was a really good time for them to step up, build that momentum, because a lot of people, you got to remember, these games count towards your regular season standings as well, so it's helped with this team's momentum. That's where we really start to see Desmond Bane get going. He was averaging almost 24 points per game. He had that 37-point performance against Detroit. It was kind of a breakout for him. Anthony Black really had his breakout during the NBA Cup group play. He was averaging almost 16 points per game, and that was with 2 points against Brooklyn at one point. And even Jalen Suggs, he had 14 points in about 3.5 games.
And even think about the fact that, like you said, like, this is a regular season game. We can win the season series against the Miami Heat today. And, oh, by the way, when we woke up this morning, both teams were 14-10. We're currently the 5 seed. They're the 6 seed in the Eastern Conference because we have a 2-0 season series advantage against them. So head-to-head is clearly going to be important. But when you're talking about head-to-head against a team like Miami that you just sort of expect to be there hanging in the standings with you all season long, it's going to mean even more. What kind of comments do we have coming in here? I saw a few about Paolo. Duval says, I hope Paolo can get off to a fast start. It's nice to have him back, even though he's on a minutes restriction. I expect to see, and Dante Marcatelli was talking about this on Magic Insiders today, I expect to see a much more aggressive Paolo tonight. I think going back the last 2 games, especially when you consider the fact that the team and the offense took off while he was out, and we talked about this on last Friday, it made sense that he would not tiptoe in, but at the very least pick his spots and be a little bit more passive early on and sort of see how he can impact the game on a night-to-night basis. We don't have that tonight. Without Franz Wagner, I think obviously, Paolo's not going to go out there and play 35 minutes and just completely burn out, but I expect him to be a lot more aggressive early on in this game, knowing that, he's missing his partner in crime and his running mate. Desmond Bain is going to have the ball in his hands very clearly. We were able to win a game the other night against Miami where Des shot 2 of 16 from the field and 1 of 8 from three-point range. I don't expect that tonight, but I do expect Des and Paolo to be very aggressive. And Paolo, first and foremost, I don't expect to see the Paolo Banchero that we saw on Friday or on Sunday, even after Franz went down. That team was shell-shocked. We were shell-shocked on the broadcast on Friday, on Sunday night. And so I think Paolo, in a game like this, well, you're talking about a guy who averages 28 points per game in the postseason, in 12 postseason appearances, going back 2 seasons now. When the lights are brighter, Paolo Banchero always seems to shine, and I expect to see that here tonight to be sure.
Yeah, and you mentioned postseason. Both of these teams are treating it like a postseason. Fontecchio, after the Sacramento Kings game, he said, we're packing our stuff for Vegas, too. They want this.
Oh, Fontecchio said that?
Fontecchio,
Okay, all right. Yeah.
So you had on both sides coming
Packing
in.
his stuff for Vegas. Is he going to go separately from the team? What's going on with that? No, that'll be that's good stuff. Look at that. Chrissy's got Simone Fontecchio audio cataloged. I love it. Excellent stuff. All right. I don't know if somebody's coming up at 4:30. Do you have any idea?
I'm not sure if Mosley is here
me neither.
tonight. So
I don't
to be determined on that.
But we're done talking. So that's that. We're going to send you down to the fort. She's Chrissy Birdsall. I'm Jake Chapman. We got to eat. That's always what happens when we get done with our stream.
Players do, too.
We got to go down. What'd you say?
The players do, too, on the
Yeah,
court.
the players got to eat as well. And hopefully everybody's eating tonight as we take on the Miami Heat. Vegas, baby. Vegas. Do you know what that is? That's a reference to a movie that came out long before you were born called Swingers. I would recommend checking it out, and I'll be making references to that. It's Swingers. It's not that type of Swingers. It's swing dancing. We'll be making references to that film. I will, anyways.
Me, as you can see, we are in the retail store, and as always, I love when they do these matchup tees. We have one tonight for the game, and let's take a little look at it. What do we think about this, chat? Honestly, I think this is so nice. For tonight's game, it's a big one, and honestly, I would get this just for the memories and to wear tonight. It's only $15. So if you're coming to tonight's game, make sure you come here and get this. What would you guys rate it 1 through 10? Let me know in the chat. We're also going to be playing some trivia today. I have a $10 gift card that you can use if you win my trivia to get this shirt. You know, then it'll only be $5. Who wouldn't want that? That's a steal. That is a steal. But let's see what you guys are saying about this shirt. You love it? You love it? Let's see. I need to get that. Fire. Ooh, Robert got the one from last season where it was the Miami versus the Heat. I have that shirt too, and I still wear that like all the time. But yeah, you guys really, really like the shirt. I love to see it. Is anybody coming to the game tonight? Guys, we are getting ready for the quarterfinals of the Emirates Cup versus the Miami Heat tonight. It's at 6 o'clock. You can also watch it on Amazon Prime. It'll be streaming there. So really, really excited. Tonight's a big one, guys. It is a big one. And like I always say, I know I say this every time, guys. I know. But I'm always right. And I'm not trying to be cocky. I'm really not. I'm always right when I say this. We are going to win tonight. When I have this feeling, I know. I just know we're going to win, and I can feel it. We're going to get that W tonight, guys. I just know it. Let's check out some items in the retail shop. If you guys also see anything you want me to show off, let me know in the chat and I'll show it off. But let's take a look around. This is like the little kids. Look how cute the baby jersey is. That's adorable. Honestly, I think I said this last time when we were in the other retail shop downstairs, but I want this. I think this is so fire. The stars, the new logo, everything about it to me is just perfect. They also have the hoodies over here. All of these hoodies are really nice, but I honestly, I'm loving this font. That is so cool. I think it is super, super cool. Let's see what you guys are saying. That's an immediate cop. Dope shirt, a 10. Oh my gosh, you guys are loving it. Duvault said, I like the 407 jersey. I love to see it. Let's win this. Yes, guys. I'm telling you, once I get that feeling, we always win. And I just know we're going to win tonight. But where are you guys watching from? Let me know. Rep your city in the comments. I want to know where everybody is watching from. And also, don't forget to follow on whatever platform you're watching this on. I think we're live on TikTok, Twitch, X, all of those platforms. So just make sure, YouTube as well. So just hit that subscribe or follow button because you don't want to miss these streams. They're super cool, and we have a lot of fun stuff planned. But let's continue on in here. These jerseys are also super, super cute. I love the stars on the side. What do we think about that, guys? So cool. Love these. I need to get this. I feel like I could wear this with anything. I need that. And I also need a hat. Guys, out of these three, which ones would you get? In chat, let me know which is your favorite jersey. There's also a Lululemon deal. Let's take a little look at them. I love the Lulu, and honestly, I need this entire collection. But it's 20% off right now. There's a sale, guys. In my opinion, Lulu doesn't go on sale that much, so now is the time to get it. Honestly, I need to get these blue leggings. That's super cute, and then pair it with one of those jerseys. That would be a fire game day fit. So let's see what you guys have to say about this. Ooh, Craig needs the Lulu, yes. His girlfriend would love the Lulu. I love that. I love that so much. That's so nice. Guys, should I try to build my ultimate game day outfit? I don't know. I feel like that would be kind of fire. Ooh, someone's Paulo's jersey just came in the mail today for them. I love that. Ooh, you guys like the black hat? Yes. Fabio is watching from Italy. Hello, guys. I would take everything all fire. You guys are bringing the energy in this chat, and I love it. I love it so much. Guys, let's build my ultimate game day fit. Let's see. Honestly, I keep talking about it so much, so I'm going to have to go with this jacket. That's going to be like my base for the fit. I think, honestly, I would probably wear these, or if we want to switch it up, the 20% off Lulu leggings. That's got to be a must. So probably these blue ones right here. And then for my shirt, guys, what should I do? Chat, what should I do? We already got the jacket, so I'm thinking maybe something a little simple. Let's see. Maybe, I think a jersey is its own statement, so that would be for another game. Unfortunately, it's so nice. I would definitely go with this one, but that's a different fit. For this fit, I think I would stick with a solid black Suggs shirt. Oh, for the comment that said your Paulo jersey just came in, what jersey do you have? I would love to see. Oh, a P5 jersey. Nice. That is fire. Let's check it out, guys. Look how fire that is. Who wouldn't want this? Honestly, so nice. Literally insane. What do you guys think about my ultimate game day fit? Would you rock it? Let me know. But I think we're gonna start heading downstairs, chat, so let's make our way. Who's coming to the game tonight? Let me know. You guys really love that matchup tee and are still talking about it in the comments. So if you just joined, they have a matchup tee for the game tonight. It's only $15. You want to get that right now. Super, super nice. But yeah, let's head downstairs. I'm going to read all of your comments right now. Greetings from Germany. Hello. You loved all the shirts. Can't go wrong with the Suggs jersey. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Let's check the TikTok comments. Let's see. Orlando Magic. Every time I join the TikTok, you guys are singing the song, and I love it. The song will definitely be played tonight because, guys, I got that feeling that we're going to take the W. So I'm excited to hear it tonight. Isaac Baker is heading to the game right now. So far, if you see me, say hello. But let's head to the court. I hear the music. I know the boys are warming up, getting ready for tonight. The energy, it's amazing. So I'm really, really excited. Let's see. A lot of you guys got the P5 jersey. That's so nice. Craig family said he will be watching from home. But he's going to be cheering on the boys tonight. I love that. All right, come on, guys. Let's go down to the court and see what's going on. I also think I'll be meeting up with Josh to ask him some questions. So if you want me to ask anything, let me know in the comments so I can ask him when I see him. All right. This view never gets old. It's so insane. Who do we see out here, chat? Who do we see? Everybody getting ready. So nice. Let's see what you guys are saying. Where can you get the 407 jersey I'm wearing? Unfortunately, you guys can't get this. I dance for the Magic, so this is our gear this year. It is fire, but there's so many things in the retail store that look like this, so make sure you go check it out because there's plenty. We got J.I. warming up out here, and oh, there's Suggs. Super cool. Let's head this way, guys. Let me know who you see and who you're excited to see tonight. I think I'm really excited to see AB play. He's been really, really bringing the energy and the heat recently. So I'm very excited. Guys, I feel the wind. I literally feel the wind. I just know we're going to win. Someone said, should he get the P5 or the Suggs jersey? Honestly, why not get both? No, but if you had to pick one, I would just, I don't know, chat. What do you guys think we should do? Let's see. All right, we're going to head over here, and we're going to speak to Josh. Super, super excited for this. Let's see. Hi. Yeah, so we're live right now. So I'm going to catch up with you in just a second. But hey guys, we are here with Josh right now. And I am so excited. I love hearing his insight, and I'm really excited for tonight's game. It's a big one. The energy is good. I'm feeling good about it tonight. So we have a few questions for you. All right, let's get into it. How do you think the team will have to adjust without Franz tonight?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like always, ball movement is key. Make sure they're touching it from side to side. Paolo's going to have to take over in moments for sure, especially when he gets double teamed. He's going to have to find those kickouts. That's going to be key. And then the guys on the perimeter are going to have to knock down those three-point shots. Usually when Paolo sprays the ball out from the paint, and he's really good getting into the paint, his teammates are shooting it at a high mark. So hopefully that continues tonight.
Okay. All right. What adjustments do you think the Heat are going to have to make tonight?
Yeah, well, they should have Tyler Hero back tonight. So normally, Miami does not run many pick and rolls or handoffs and things of that nature. With Tyler Hero, expect an increase in that because he thrives in pick and roll situations. They're a team that likes to get out and run normally. We did a good job of that last Friday of keeping them basically out of transition. They were only able to get 8 fast break points. So I would say we want to push the pace against them, but make sure we get back in transition against them to make sure that they're not scoring fast break points.
Yeah, for sure. And knowing all of that, what is our major key to just getting the win tonight?
Yeah, like I said, I think pushing the pace against this team is key because even though they are a good transition defensive team, they're a really good half-court defensive team. So the more we can push the pace, the more chance we have at scoring more high percentage shots. In the half court, I think getting to the free throw line is critical. We rank number 1 in the league in that category. With Paolo back, that's his main strength. So the key is getting downhill, navigating down toward the paint, near the basket, and try to get as much contact as possible. If the double team comes, like I said before, those kickouts from the paint, that's the most critical piece to our offense right now, especially without Franz.
All right, well, great insight. Let's see if the chat has any questions for you. Let's see. They want to know, who do you think is going to be the X factor tonight?
Usually it's AB, Anthony Black, who, when he has a good game, normally the Magic win. Really simple. But he's the most critical piece when it comes to pushing the pace. He thrives in transition, very effective getting downhill on the move. If we can get out and run by getting stops, and that's where it all starts. AB and Jalen together, arguably the best defensive backcourt right now in the league. When they're on the floor together, the Magic have an outstanding defensive rating. We can get steals and deflections, get out and run, keep Miami on their toes. That's going to be big, and AB is a big piece to that.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I think that completes it, I believe. And now we're gonna go chat with Kendra. But like always, it's great talking to you, and I'll see you later. All right, guys. Here we are with Kendra. Hey, girl. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Wait, I like your nails too. Everything is
I like your outfit. Oh, the boots too.
I try.
Yeah. No, her fit. Guys, rate the fit in the chat.
Okay.
Obviously a 10. Yeah.
We're gonna walk over there.
All right, let's take a little walk, guys. Let's head on over here. While we do, I'm going to see who I see on the court. I see Jalen on the court practicing over there. But yeah, let's keep heading on over here, guys. What did we think about that interview with Josh? Good insight, guys. Yes. Let me read some of those comments. A lot of you guys are excited to see Jalen tonight. Josh, he knows ball. Yes, he does, guys. Literally every time I talk to him, I get so much like insight and knowledge about the game. I just love talking to him. We love Kendra. Yes, we do. We do. Zeke says he will be there tonight courtside. Okay. All right, all right. So many guys coming to the game tonight. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. We need all the support we can get tonight, guys. So get here. If you're not here, get those tickets and just come. It's not too late. Starts at 6. Or you could watch it on Amazon and support from your home. Let's see. I'm just going to read some comments. So if you guys have any questions, let me know in the chat. I'm going to switch to TikTok right now and read some of those. Let's go, Magic. AB's going to kill it tonight. Yes. All right. Hey, girl. Hey. How's it going?
Part 2.
How are you feeling about tonight's game?
Ooh, I feel good. I feel good about tonight's game because hold on, I'm gonna put my step down real quick.
Okay.
Wait.
Hold on. Guys, sorry, technical difficulties.
I feel good because I feel like now that we know, how we've beat 1, the Magic have beaten this team multiple times. 2, I feel like there's kind of this sense of like everyone feels kind of okay knowing that like the severity of Franz Wagner's injury wasn't as scary as we thought, but it looked scary. But I think because of all of that, I have a good feeling about tonight. I think everyone is like, the vibes are high. The vibes.
I was saying that to the chat. I was like, every time I feel these vibes are good, I tell the chat that we're going to win, and we always win every time I say it. So I'm really, really betting on a win tonight. But I don't know. The energy is just good, and everyone seems really powerful right now. So I'm excited.
I'm pumped too, because the thing is, there's money on the line. Guys love money. People love money. So like, there's money on the line. Everyone wants to like earn that money, get to Vegas. And it's like, I think it'll be nice to say like they won a championship before going on their West Coast trip. So like, no, I'm pumped for these guys. I really hope they win it. I hope they are able to go to Vegas. And like you just want to see a team that's like developed like this so much. You want to see good things happen for them, but it's going to be a battle. This Miami team, they're very similar, but like the way that Miami leads the league in a lot of good areas and like assists and pace, and like it's going to take an all-out battle from this defense to really slow them down.
Oh, for sure. It's going to be insane in here tonight. The energy, I already know, like everyone's going to be going crazy. Let's see what the chat is saying. Let's just see.
Okay.
We're checking YouTube right now.
J Curve, we love J Curve.
We do.
Oh, and Duval. Oh, hi.
So many supporters, but I think we are going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. But stay on because Kendra will be here. Oh, just kidding. I'll be here too, but I'll be answering all your comments.
Awesome. We're
Thank
gonna get
you.
ready. Make sure you guys stay on because
Yeah, stay on. You
Courtside
wanna watch
Countdown
it.
coming up. So
Yeah,
stay with us.
All right. We love talking to Kendra, guys. So much fun. And definitely stay tuned for that. You don't want to miss that. I always watch it with Kendra. Let's see what you guys are saying. And I'm just going to read some comments in the chat. Let's see. We're going to win. Orlando Magic, you guys are still singing the song. I love it. I love it. Keep singing the song. What are your score predictions? My score prediction? I mean, obviously we're gonna win, but I think for some reason I feel like it's gonna be like 110 to 100. I think we're gonna win by a solid 10. That's fire. We got Tony over here taking my photo. Thanks, Tony. Anything you want to say to the chat?
Let's go, Magic!
Yeah, let's go, let's go. All right, well, it was such a pleasure hanging out with you guys. You guys brought the energy in the chat today, and I love to see it. My name is Marley Arnold, and like always, I will see you guys next time. Hopefully, I'll see you in Vegas, because we're going to win. We're going to win tonight. Keep the good energy up, and stay tuned for Courtside Countdown with Kendra. I will see you guys next time. Let's go, Magic!
I grew up fast. Skibbity. I have no clue. Cool, dumb, bad, okay. That's cool. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Skibbity? Never heard this one. This might get bad, but cool, dumb, bad. This word is skibbity.
Skibbity. I'll be there in a skibbity.
Glazing. That's like hyping somebody up too much. Like overdoing that part, I guess. Praising someone too much, yeah. Use it in a sentence. He be glazing too much.
Glazing, I know glazing is when you do it too much. You're getting too much compliments. Yes.
Glazing. You've been talking about him for the past hour, bro. Stop glazing.
Folks, you're watching Picasso go to work.
We had a pretty good season. We make the playoffs, playing against the Miami Heat. My knees, for that reason, I wasn't the 3D I normally am, but you went from penny to shiny penny.
Hardaway, Morning turned it over. Hardaway won't miss that.
Take me through what was going through your mind that you were not trying to let us go down the wrong way.
You know, it really kicked in when Ronnie got hurt.
Cycling turns an ankle. He's down on the baseline.
From that point, when he got injured, I was like, you know what? It's time to stop being so passive and trying to get everybody involved. It's time to just go ahead and go to another level.
As Penny creates again and hits. Penny fires it up. Yes.
Yes.
I just went
like
ultra aggressive.
You turned into a video game.
Yeah, I went ultra. Yeah, my game titles are all on 100.
Yes.
Everything
yes.
that I shot.
Pass inside to Hardaway. Over Morning. Double clutch and good. Oh, man.
Driving.
Brown to the right, left hand, yes.
Posting, shooting threes.
I was shooting threes like you.
Yeah, Penny, why not?
You were. I mean, you were deep ones, too. Deep ones.
I wasn't missing, man. It was just that feeling that I got that it's time to take the team to the next level. So it was crazy.
It's controlled by the Magic. Black streaking ahead. And a foul, and Black took a nasty fall.
Magic have the ball down one. Bane drives, right-handed, foot shot up and in.
The Magic have numbers going the other way once they were able to secure that rebound.
Foul into the inside and finished. Get it up ahead. Oh, Anthony Black! He has the matchup. He has to take advantage. Good pass to Drummond. Oh, blocked by Suggs. 7 to shoot. Drummond, hook it, right to Wagner. Off to the races. Numbers the other way. Suggs, lob, Carter, slam. Defense to offense.
And look at the bench. Paolo's over there doing a two-step.
Wagner backs it out. Shot clock ticking. Wagner, three-point shot is up. German engineering. Back-to-back threes by Franz Wagner.
Give the people what they want, cause I got it. I ain't lying. Locked in, I do it just for profit. I ain't lying. Love it how I break it down just like that. I ain't lying. Love it how I run the town just like that. I ain't lying. Love it how I break it down just like that. I ain't lying. Love it how I run the town just like that. I ain't lying. Who said they could top me? Step in the place, I steal the show. Said they had been checking for me, ain't never seen my type before. Love to see me coming, but my haters might just shed a tear. Cause when I put that hammer down, I bet you this whole room clear. Ain't no competition, it's against just me, myself, and I. Checking in the mirror, thinking, how could one chick be so fly? I'm from another dimension. Now that I got your attention, tell me who can do it better. Never the two, never the lesser. Why you all up in my face? What's the deal? Run the city just for fun, cause you know I keep it real. Give the people what they want, cause I got it. I ain't lying. Locked in, I do it just for profit. I ain't lying. Love it how I break it down just like that. I ain't lying. Love it how I run the town just like that. I ain't lying. Love it how I break it down just like that. I ain't lying. Love it how I run the town just like that.
Much for joining us as we get you ready for the quarterfinals of the NBA Cup. The Magic taking on the Heat for what feels like the 10th billionth time this season, but it's not. Either way, the Magic, they've won every contest against the Heat. Tonight's game will be on Amazon Prime. So for those who were asking the question, I saw in the chat everyone was wondering where it's going to be streamed. It's on Amazon Prime tonight. So that's where the game is going to be. No FanDuel this time around. I know we hate it. We want to see everybody. But, also the guys are getting a lot of national attention. They're getting a lot of love, and we love that. As we bring in our host right here, Dan Savage.
Mic swap.
Yeah.
And we're hoping that the mic dropped for the Magic after this one tonight, that they secure the season series and an NBA Cup win.
I love
That's
it.
a nice transition, right?
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, guys. So, yes, welcome back into Courtside Countdown presented by Hard Rock Bet. Kendra Douglas alongside Dan Savage. We're going to get you ready for tonight's game. I'm super pumped about this game. Of course, we're going to talk about the big thing at hand first, but I want to get to some of your comments. Someone thought I was actually taller than they thought I was. I know.
All right.
I'm all right. We'll go with that. They said Kendra's taller than I thought she was. I said, okay. Someone said,
You were an
hopefully-
athlete.
I was an athlete. I was. You got a lot going on over here talking about hopefully Wendell Carter Jr. and AB step it up and play aggressively. Good things happen when they do. Very true.
By that.
And I like this. These live streams are bringing back the feel of games when they used to be on Sunshine Network. Now they can chat too. I
remember
like
those
that.
days.
I like that. I don't, but was it good? Was it good days?
It was good days. We had some good years with the old Sunshine Network.
There we go. There we go. And then, of course, someone says win for Boogie. So, yes. As we guys,
Somebody stole one of my storylines already.
Did they? They're
We'll get to
ruining
it later.
Duval 87 stole your storyline already.
He's a regular, so I'll give it to him.
There we go. So as you guys might not know, or some do know, Franz Wagner will be out for an extended period of time, and to see how he responds to treatment after he injured his lower leg, and it turned out to be a high ankle sprain on his left leg. Of course, when you and I were there,
yes,
the whole MSG went silent because I think everyone, knows how much of a great player he is, but also you feel for a guy like that. And the way that and I think we're going to see the way that it happened, and it was hard. The thing that really gets us is he was holding, a part of his leg where we were kind of worried. But ultimately, I will say, no injury is a good injury, but you feel better knowing that it is a high ankle sprain, that he is going to be here to help this team out the rest of the way. Your thoughts on this injury?
Yeah, so for the viewers here, we'll give it some inside basketball, so to speak. An injury like that happens. Everybody's frantic trying to figure out what's going on up and down the roster.
Yeah.
It became very clear that he wasn't going to return to that specific game with that injury. And when you see a player holding their knee, you fear for the worst.
Yeah.
And he suffered a big injury around the same time last year.
Mhm.
His brother suffered an ACL injury later in the year, which he's still recovering from. And your mind starts to wander, is this going to be an injury that takes him out for the rest of the season and thus changes the trajectory of what the Magic can expect?
Yeah.
But going down initially, tests within the arena, there was some optimism that he had averted major disaster. And, but you're not going to get that until they confirm the MRI. Well, as you know, we're trying to travel back to Orlando, and the weather conditions were not great back here.
No, they weren't.
Which delayed the flight quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then punted what you thought would be an MRI that night to the following day, because even though it was a noon game, we didn't get back till it was like a
10.
7 o'clock
I
game.
know. It was crazy.
So it was a long journey home. But as the night went on into the next morning, there became more and more optimism. Franz was feeling better, and MRI tests did confirm that it was just a high ankle sprain. So while it will mean an extended absence, not the heavy one that a lot of people had feared about.
Yeah.
And as Magic head coach Jamal Mosley said, there was a sigh of relief that it was just a high ankle sprain. Now, with that being said, that's still an injury you have to rehab from and whatever, but gives the team a lot of hope. And hopefully they can rally behind Boogie and carry it, because we've seen so many times he be the guy to step up when other players go down.
We sure have. And I think that's been the hard part. I think also, and we'll get to this a little bit. We're streaming, JT. Wait, I think we're going to have an early Turner's turn over here. This guy. Look at
An
you.
early
hey,
turn.
JT.
I'm off tonight, so I don't know.
We were just talking about Franz Wagner. You were there too, and we were saying a major crisis averted in a sense. Like everyone breathed a sigh of relief when they saw that, when they saw that it was just a high ankle sprain for Franz. Your feelings, your thoughts when you learned that too.
I was elated. Somebody asked me, it was a cause of, was it celebration? I was like, in my house it was. You never want to see anybody get hurt, right? But, when you're there live and you're watching it, it looked awful. I mean, it looked like it could be a season-ending thing. So I'm celebrating for Franz so he doesn't have to go through that for all of us because of how important he is to us.
And now the big part, tonight's game. We all know what's at stake. We all also know what this could do for the season series too as well. JT, your thoughts on how well this Magic team needs to come out tonight to go to Vegas?
I think they've got to be really locked in. You're down Franz, but more importantly, even if you had Franz, so hard in this league. I know you all talked about it, to beat a team that third time. And so, there's familiarity. We just saw this team, 2 games ago. It's almost like a playoff feel, isn't it? And so I think we got to really be at our best tonight to come out here with a win.
I love it. Oh, you're not on a time restraint. We don't got to pay you, right?
Well, I guess technically I'm not working, so we'll just call this a freebie.
There we go.
JT, I got one for you.
Okay.
You were part of this Magic Heat rivalry. To have a game like this, how much does that continue to renew the Sunshine State rivalry?
I think the big thing about the rivalry is it only works when both teams are competitive, right? And for a while it hasn't been that way. So I think with both teams being good, both of these teams could possibly meet down the line in the playoffs. I think that just builds on it. So I think it's really starting to come back around, and I'm excited for it.
I love it.
No better team to go through to get a trip to Vegas than Miami.
Kendra, wasn't I saying?
You were pumped.
We were on air when we found out who the matchup would be, and I was ecstatic because this is what it's about, playing meaningful games against your in-state rivalry. This is the best.
It is.
Don't be afraid. Scared money can't win. Old teammate once told me that.
I love it. Turner's take will come in
Turner's
for
turn.
us. Turner's turn. I forgot. I said take.
Copyright.
I'm on copyright right there.
We knew that, right?
All right. Thank you, JT. I love when he comes around.
That's the best.
He's the best. Well, you just heard Jeff Turner talk a little bit about how it does feel kind of like a playoff, and we actually got to listen to Coach Mosley, and you guys are going to hear what he kind of had to say a little bit during that press conference. So let's take a listen to him.
Coach, I know no absence is welcome, but to hear the news that Franz's injury was less severe perhaps than initially thought, how relieving was that? For the franchise.
It's a blessing that it wasn't, what we thought it was as it looked. And so, obviously you don't want anybody to be out, but for his ability to not be what, a lot of people thought it was is much better news.
Knowing that he's not going to be available now for an extended period of time, just how do you guys move forward without him?
The hard part about it is that you don't have him, but I guess the beauty in it is that you've been in this situation before. So you have to look back and lean on what we've done in other situations. The next man has to step up, be ready to play, and when your number's called, you're ready to go.
Well, you just heard from head coach Jamal Mosley, and we got to listen to him in that pregame presser. He was pretty, chill throughout this day. I think a part of him, too, was really relieved as well to know that Franz Wagner is going to be able to help this team later on this season. I think we all are. But some of the comments I'm seeing here tonight, now it's time for Paolo to show why he is the #1 pick, and that's what we want to see for him tonight. Now, when we talk about this game, we do know that Paolo still is on minutes restrictions, and that's another thing that someone commented asking. Yes, P is still getting into the groove of things, finding his way back on this team. But what I love about the way he's been able to play so far this season is coming back off that injury. I know it's only been 2 games, but in New York, I saw a glimpse of P is back.
Yeah, I think for him, so much of his game is predicated on rhythm and timing, and he's a guy who has to see double teams. So much of defenses are constructed to stop him. So there's an extra layer to it for a guy like that coming back. But what I like about him is he's really played within the structure and flow of the offense, hasn't tried to do too much and just prove to the outside public that he's back by putting up a number of shots. He's been very methodical and under control, and you love the way that he's playing on both ends of the floor to return. Yes, we've seen a minutes restriction for him so far at 20 in the first game, 25, so I think we'll see closer to probably like 28 or 30 maybe, even in this game with the NBA Cup at stake as he slowly ramps back up. But you have to love what you're seeing, Apollo. He's really played within himself, and I love that about him, and the rest will come because he's as talented as they come.
And I think now with the team kind of getting into that gel, you just mentioned that he's going to see a lot of double team, but then this allows guys like Desmond Bane to shine. This allows guys like Jalen Suggs to shine. This allows guys even when Franz Wagner comes back for him to shine. So it frees up a lot of other opportunities, but then I think it also allows them to find him in different places too, to be able to shine. I guess what ultimately I'm saying is yes, we know what to expect with Paolo, but now when you add these additions of these guys, I think it sets them up in a different way.
Yeah, no, I think the thing about Paolo that they're going to be trying to do is space the floor around him.
Yeah.
With Franz Wagner out, you may add another guy like Tristan Da Silva around him to fill in that gap, along with Desmond Bane, Jalen Suggs, Wendell Carter, who's shot the 3 ball really well so far. That, the alternative is you look to space the floor around Paolo, and if his usage rate is going to increase, hopefully that opens driving lanes and we could see the spray out passes that he's been so effective with early in the season. So I think that opportunity will be there for Paolo, and it's up to the guys around him to really step up and make shots because it's not all just on him to step up play with Franz Wagner out. As we saw when P was out, other guys stepped up along the lines of Jalen Suggs, Desmond Bane with back-to-back 37-point games. Anthony Black had a huge role. So it's going to be on all those guys to help lift up the ship with Franz out for a bit.
Yeah, it sure is. But, they've said it multiple times. They understand the next man up mentality. I think so much of these guys are able to go into that so differently this year compared to last year, because last year it was a little difficult, but in understanding how that next man up mentality looks with all the injuries. But this year, it feels like there's so much just more prepared when it comes to that.
Look, dust off the by committee sayings.
Yeah.
It feels like we've had to talk about it way too many times on this show for both of our likings, but it's so true with the way that the team is constructed. They're a deep team.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things Paolo talked about when he was out and having to watch this team that he observed was just how deep this roster is. There's so many guys all along the way that can contribute, and they're going to be relying on that now.
Yeah, if you are just now tuning in, you're watching Courtside Countdown presented by Hard Rock Bet with Kendra Douglas, Dan Savage. Thank you for joining us. There is a funny comment I have for you.
All right.
There are rumors that Dan and Stuff went to kindergarten together and that Stuff used Dan as his first stunt prop.
Well, look, we know that Stuff was originated between 87, 89.
Okay.
Shortly after I was born.
Okay.
So there is potential there. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Hey. We're over here trying to answer your questions, and we're getting it done over here. I love it. I want to talk about this cup game. Let's look at the standings real quick and how this is going out. So tonight, the bracket, let's look at the bracket.
Yeah.
So tonight, tonight, the Magic will be taking on the Heat. And as we see right there underneath, Toronto will be taking on the Knicks. Now, there is a scenario in this situation where the Magic can be playing the Knicks again, either in Vegas or New York, and which I think is crazy funny because we literally just, the way that they play, it is an all-out battle between those two teams. But there is a possibility of that. Of course, you see what happens on the other side. OKC will be taking on the Suns, and then the Lakers will be taking on the Spurs. So this is your bracket for the NBA championship and what's going to happen going into tonight with the quarterfinals. Again, there's so much at stake when you look at what's going on between Miami and the Magic. Like JT just said, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. But you play them twice in the preseason. You've beaten them twice in the regular season. You kind of get an idea of who you're going after tonight.
No question. And look, this is one of those funny things in the NBA where based on tonight's game, our travel, the team's travel, all will be dictated by the outcome. Because you win and you have an extended trip in Las Vegas, you might just stay out on the West Coast and go right to Denver, and that's a long, lengthy time on the road. In turn, if the Magic are unable to come away with the win tonight, that could mean a home game here at Kia Center versus Toronto later this week, or it could mean a trip up to MSG if the Knicks lose and head up there and play the Knicks again. So a lot of different scenarios based off tonight's outcome, but I can tell you what everyone here in Kia Center is hoping for. It's a trip out to Vegas.
It sure is. And tonight's game will be on Prime for those wondering and asking. So that's something to remember about tonight's game. But let's talk about this series. Let's talk about tonight's game. Both teams come into this 14-10, which a lot of similarities within these two teams. Of course, Franz has been leading scoring against the Heat. So my question to you is, where do you make up for those points?
Yeah, it's tough because Franz has been the leading scorer for the Magic in both of their games against the Heat, averaging 28 points per game against them, 4.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists. And when you look at both of those games against Miami, decided by 4 points or less, with the last game coming down to a single bucket, there has not been much of a margin for error, and Franz has tipped the scales in the Magic's favor. So where are the opportunities for growth? Well, you're going to look at Paolo Banchero to pick up some of that. The guy shooting right behind us, Anthony Black, can swing a game in a team's favor, as he's done for the Magic so many times this season, just by making plays on both ends of the floor. And, you know, AB is the type of electric player whose defense creates his offense. And when you talk about how the Magic like to play, he's the personification of that on the floor. And when you're talking about an emotional game like an NBA Cup game, those steals leading to slams can really ignite a home crowd, swing the favor. So Anthony Black is my X factor tonight.
And this is the game, too, that you can look back on because the way he played against the Pistons, but this one, too, the way he played against the 76ers. Insane of a performance from him that night. The way he's growing so far with the team this season, his aggressiveness, his assertiveness, his dominance on the court, the way he is able to get downhill. Like, I mean, this is what you want to see in a young AB, and this is what Magic fans want to see, as you guys just mentioned. They want to see Wendell Carter Jr. have a good night. You want to see Anthony Black have a good night as well. Those are his numbers so far, his NBA Cup stats so far. I love him. More than 15 points per game, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, 4 games played so far for AB. It's like he's a different guy when he's playing in this Cup series, Dan.
He's a demon. And look, Anthony Black's one of the bigger competitors in this league. So when you increase the stakes, you put some money on the line, that guy's going to go all out to prove that he is one of the best. And I think for a young AB, you forget by the way that he defends, the way he sees the floor, that he's only 21 years old. He's a very young player in this league. And I think early in his career, he struggled with how much confidence. Can I really take over a game? When do I do it? Do I defer? And I think early, as his career has progressed, as his seasons progress, we've seen him really ramp up in that regard.
Yeah.
And it's really special to see because he's as dominant as he wants to be. That's how I truly see it for AB.
Yeah, he sure is. Another guy that's also very dominant, too, is Desmond Bane. And you look at him, you look at how Norman Powell is playing, too, as well. Those two guys and the way that they're going to perform tonight is also going to be something to be said. But Desmond Bane specifically, starting with him, What have you liked so far? What you're seeing from him, especially when it comes to playing in these cup games?
Yeah, I'm going to say two things about Desmond Bane.
Okay.
Number one, we all know he has the three-point shooting. He came in with that reputation. But what's really impressed me is teams have top-locked him. Teams have tried to find ways to run him off the three-point line.
Yeah.
And he hasn't let that stop him from being effective. He's put up a 37-point game without even knocking down a single three. So it's that level of playmaking and creation that's really impressed me about him coming here to Orlando. And then secondly, it's that little extra tenacity and edge that he plays with that makes that makes a backcourt with him and Jalen Suggs so special, because everybody looked at Jalen. They've looked at Mo Wagner as players who play with a bit of edge.
Yeah.
And Desmond fits right in.
He does.
Look, you want to throw a ball off somebody tonight to help swing a cup game? You're not going to have any complaints from me.
I will say this.
Savage. Savage
He's
approved.
savage. Yes. If we come up with a moment for you, it'll be a savage moment. Desmond Bane definitely is your number one guy so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a couple of them this season, but I like that extra edge that he plays with.
Yeah.
He's not going to let any team come into this building and punk him.
Right.
You know, that's not the
you're
way
right.
that he plays. And if he feels things are going in that direction, he'll let you know about it, and he'll swing it the opposite direction.
He sure will. A couple comments that you guys are coming in here with are talking about Mo Wagner. Before we do, let's talk about these numbers so far. So we were just talking about Desmond Bane. Norman Powell is also a guy that you got to look out to. Top 20 in the league in points. He's averaging more than 24 points per game. More than a 3 assists and shooting 3. Excuse me, my words and numbers. 50% from the field for Norman Powell. This is going to be a good matchup tonight with those guys.
No question. If you're looking at what matchup could potentially decide the outcome, it's this one right here. Can the Magic find a way to slow down Norman Powell? Because it's not just against Orlando. He's terrorized other teams this season. When you look at the way the Heat are playing with increased pace, the way that Eric Spoelstra is trying to run this free flow offense, Norman Powell's fit right into the flow of it, just like Desmond Bane's fit into the flow of the Orlando's offense. So he's been a huge addition coming over for the LA Clippers.
Yeah.
And he's given the Magic problems in the first few matchups. So can the Magic find a way to slow him down, make him less efficient tonight? That would be huge in swinging this one in Orlando's favor.
It sure will. And one of the questions got asked saying, is it true the NBA Cup floor got damaged? Yes, the NBA Cup court was damaged in storage, so the team will play on its standard home court tonight. That does not change the intensity. That does not change the fight. Everyone knows they want to get to Vegas, but to confirm it, yes. Another question was, when is Mo Wagner coming back? I know. We all want Mo Wagner to come back. He is also another guy that it's all dependent on how he responds to treatment. You got to remember, we got to play the long game in this one. I have torn my ACL. Play the long game. Come back with a healthier leg. Look, here's the thing. His knee is 10 times stronger. Let me tell you, Burbank, I know my knee is 10 times stronger. But you play the long game and you make sure that you are healthy along the way. So those are our updates for you guys. I want to talk a little bit about the team as a whole. So you look at the Miami Heat. They lead the league in points in the paint. They're second in the league in assists, and they're third in points per game. How do you stop a team like that?
Well, look, they play with tremendous pace.
Yeah.
They're getting that ball up and they're running. And we look at the start of last game, and it played like a new Miami Heat Orlando Magic game where both teams were flying up and down the court.
Yeah.
But when the Magic became a little bit more efficient on offense and really got back in the transition defense, the second half of their final game against the Heat just a couple days ago on December 5th really looked like the vintage Magic Heat slugfest. And I think if you talk to Magic head coach Jamal Mosley, that's the type of game he'd like to play, where the Heat aren't flying up and down the court, the Magic are getting back in transition, and then coming up with steals to really fuel their offense. That's the type of game they'd like to play. You know, smash mouth, punch 'em type of basketball.
No, I will say both teams, they're both top 10. They're both top 5 when it comes to points in the paint, and second chance opportunities too for the Magic. So I guess what I want to ask you too is, how important is it for both teams, specifically the Magic, to kind of take away that interior look for the Heat, kind of really like pressure them and get them to try to shoot the long ball? How important will that be?
Yeah, no, I think the first objective is the no middle. That's so
Yeah.
important, staple of Orlando's defense, where it's you get back in defense and you prevent any easy drives to the basket. And then secondly, it's knowing your personnel. With guys like Norman Powell, Tyler Hero out there, that you're going to have to close out to very strong versus other guys that are going to try to drive to the basket. The Heat have a few very dynamic players in that regard. And so what you want to do is force them into tough twos, and that's going to be the goal tonight, is initially take away the middle, and when the spray out passes come, close out hard so guys have to take those tough mid-range shots.
You just said know your personnel. Someone who you can talk to and he'll say KYP. It's got to be a KYP night is Wendell Carter Jr. Him, Bam Adebayo. We saw how this continued. They were both giving each other a tough night the last time they played against each other.
No, but these guys have played each other so many times over the course of the career that when their matchups happen, there's nothing that the other can do to surprise the other player. They're both high-level defensive thinking players, so they both know what's coming, and then it's just a matter of will, who wants it more. And so far in these two matchups, Wendell Carter Jr. has been huge in the fourth quarter, both with offensive rebounds that, in my opinion, have decided both outcomes, as well as the stop where he read what Bam was trying to do, took that away, and forced him into a very tough shot without fouling, mind you, that decided that last game. So Wendell has been huge down the stretch in both of those games.
What makes Bam Adebayo just so challenging? I mean, this is a guy that's been with Spo for pretty much ever. But what makes him so challenging? And do you feel like you're starting to see a big kind of leadership shift with him leading this Heat squad?
No, that's an excellent point, Kendra. I absolutely do. As you mentioned, he's been with Spo since the beginning of his career.
Yeah.
He is now an extension of the coaching staff out on the floor. And I think with Bam, the key is his versatility on both ends of the floor. He could switch out to smaller players and guard on the perimeter. He can be a rim protecting force underneath the basket. And then we've seen him over the years expand his game offensively, shoot it from further out. So Bam's a guy that you have to worry about on both ends, and his versatility can cause problems to your offense because he could switch out and not give you necessarily the matchup you're looking for.
Yeah, that's without doubt. That's what exactly. So I love this question.
All right.
Someone said, "Can I ask a favor? Can we get stuff on camera with Dan? Trying to prove something here, as I've not seen Dan and Stuff in the same room before."
Well, I mean, I don't know if I want to do it, but we actually ran a skit together many, many years ago.
Okay.
So maybe, if we really struggle to find enough programming to pack the pregame show one day, we can run that highlight clip.
There we go. And then you'll be able to debunk these rumors, because I feel like Addie is trying. She said they said they're trying to prove something. I get what you're trying to prove, and we will continue.
Both of us are mischievous. So.
Yes, we'll continue to just think about it. Who knows? Before we let you guys go and get ready for tonight's game, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule and get you ready for that. As we were mentioning, we don't know necessarily what's going to happen next.
I'm curious. They just put up a big question mark in production.
Yes,
here
what
we go.
happens next? Yeah. So ultimately, if the Magic do not go to Vegas, they will play a game either home or away, and then we will get ready for the West Coast trip. So Denver is going to be up next, Utah, then we'll have Golden State, and then we'll have Portland. That will be the first leg of that.
I'm tired already.
I know,
This is
because
some late nights.
that Warriors and Portland is a back-to-back as well. It's going to be a long West Coast trip, but we hope that the Magic are going from Vegas to Denver.
Shorten that trip up,
Yeah.
and at least a trip to Vegas, a little extra money on the line, whatever, can make it all worth it.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what we want. And Magic fans, we're just so happy that you get to be involved with our Courtside Countdown presented by Hard Rock Bet show today, because we love you guys, and you guys are what make this show tick. You guys are what make this show happen, and we hope that some of you guys who maybe aren't in this are going to be at the game tonight. I know when we had that BOGO deal, you guys are letting me know who got tickets. Before we get out of here, your final thoughts for tonight's game.
Yeah, to me, it's going to come down to three things tonight. Number one, playing at the Magic's pace rather than the Heat's.
Excuse me.
Yes, no, we got to play at the Magic pace. Can't play at the Heat.
Yeah.
If you get caught in the track meet with them, you're playing into your hand. For the Magic, it's all about getting back on defense, getting stops, and then getting out and run and finishing efficiently in transition. Number two, limiting Norman Powell.
Yeah.
He's been a headache in all three of these games, as we've alluded to already. Dynamic player, both driving and shooting the three ball. The Magic have to do their best to make sure he has an inefficient night tonight. And then lastly, do it for Franz.
Do it for Boogie.
Everybody felt that emotional uplift yesterday when they got that positive news. You got to ride that high.
Yeah.
And you know, for Franz, he's sick. He wants to be out there with them, and he's going to feel guilty if the Magic don't come away with the victory. So help him avoid that by coming away with a win and really uplifting his spirits.
I love it. Great storylines. That'll do it for us on Courtside Countdown, presented by Hard Rock Bet. Kendra Douglas, Dan Savage, thank you guys for joining us. Tonight's game will be on Amazon Prime as the Magic will take on the Heat in the quarterfinals for the NBA Cup at 6 p.m. Magic fans, we will see you hopefully not until we get back.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows what our producers might have us be doing with the we might have a road courtside countdown. Who knows?
Who knows? We'll keep you guys posted though. Anyway, have a good night, Magic fans, and make sure you guys cheer on the team.
Give the people what they want, 'cause I got it. I ain't lying. Locked in, I do it just for profit.